Well, MLB season is finally here. I'm a little bit late, guys. I do apologize. I've been very busy, but I got the video out to y'all. It's Ghiman Mckinney, Juice, G-Man, or Webby, you can call me, bringing you the Juice Alert. I'm back with another video for y'all. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Help me grow. The best thing you guys can do for me is to share this video with your friends. Get other people into the channel, watch and like my videos, as I am trying to, eventually become a sports analysis on a big time network, hopefully own a network myself, or either on sport or on ESPN or Fox Sports 1. That is my ultimate dream and goal, and I'm gonna get there, y'all. We're gonna get there one day. But today we're gonna preview who I think is going to ultimately win the World Series. Listen, guys, I've already done a video breaking down team by team, division by division, in each league, the American League and the National League. So be sure to check those videos out on my YouTube channel right now. If you haven't watched them, go ahead and watch them. But I have the Houston Astros winning the World Series this year. I think now this was a very tough pick for me. I almost picked the Yankees. I think the Yankees would come in second. I think that the World Series champion will come from the AL this year. I do not, unfortunately, think that any team in the NL, I think there are some good teams in the NL, but I don't think there's necessarily an elite team in the NL. There are 3 or 4 elite teams, I think, in the AL, between the Indians, the Red Sox, you want to throw in the Yankees and the Astros, who I think can win a World Series. I think the Astros are going to win the World Series because, for one, they have the pitching. You have to win through pitching in baseball. Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, they're 2 aces. Their starting rotation is pretty good. It's not the best in the world. The Indians definitely have a better rotation, I think, than the Astros. But the Astros rotation is pretty good, I would say. The Astros are a very complete team. They can hit home runs. They can hit for average. They just have an excellent combination of players hitting for average and power. And I think in all in doubt, they don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play. Last year, the Astros did not make a ton of errors. They were the team that had the least amount of errors last year. I do think they did nothing this offseason to decrease their defensive power in the infield and the outfield. I think they'll be one of the best defensive teams this year. They have a lot of players that do not strike out. They'll put the ball in play. That's the key, because in the postseason, you're going to need to have players that can move runners over to have effective outs, sacrifice flies, just moving runners over, effective outs. I think the Astros can really do that. I also think the addition of Michael Brantley to the Houston Astros was brilliant. He fits perfectly what they love to do. He's not going to hit a ton of home runs, but he's actually been able to stay healthy for the past couple of seasons. Last year at least. So him staying healthy is key. He's a great defender. He puts the ball in play and makes solid contact. He's going to be a great 4-0 hitter for them. He only had 60 strikeouts in 140 games last year. That's amazing. He puts the ball in play. He fits the Astros more. I think that'll be the biggest sleeper addition of this whole year. Michael Brantley to the Astros was a great addition. Last year they led the league in strikeouts. I don't think that they'll do that this year, but they'll be very close. They had Dallas Keuchel last year. I don't know if he's coming back to them. He probably won't. They could add someone at the trade deadline too. Let's not forget that the trade deadline is going to be very key. But I just think Jose Altuve is dynamic. Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman is going to take an even bigger step this year. He's my pick to win MVP this year. If you have not watched that video, go watch that video. I just think they'll have the best record in baseball too, because I think every team in their division is going to take a step back. The Angels are the only team in their division that improved. The Mariners got worse. The Oakland A's, I think, are going to get worse than the Texas Rangers. I do think the Yankees have an outside shot to make to win the World Series. I really do. I think they're the second best team in baseball this year. They have the best bullpen by far. They have some injuries in their rotation, however, and that's ultimately what I'm looking at, because the Astros have a better starting rotation than the Yankees. Now, they don't have a better bullpen, but I think the Yankees, because of the injuries to Severino and CC Sabathia early on, they're going to rely heavily on that bullpen, particularly in the regular season early on. And even in the playoffs, you saw a couple times last year, their stars don't necessarily give you a whole lot of innings. I like Paxton, I like Masahiro Tanaka, but they're not type pitchers that are going to go deep into games. Eventually, the Yankees having to rely on that bullpen so much and so heavily, I think is ultimately going to cost them and, have them come up short. You can't keep running your bullpen into the ground, because then by October, November, in postseason baseball, they won't have anything left, I don't think. And Chapman, he's a left-handed thrower that throws hard. You ask him to throw a lot, his velocity might dip. I don't know, but the Yankees, they also do strike out a lot at times, with Giancarlo Stanton, with Gary Sanchez, who I think will bounce back and take a big step this year. With Aaron Judge, you're going to get a lot of homers, especially in that short porch in Yankee Stadium. Now, if they can get the World Series to come through New York, and things like that. I really do think the Yankees have a great chance to win the World Series, and I think that I would probably pick them to go to the World Series. But the World Series in the AL is going to have to go through Houston this year. I don't think the Houston Astros are going to let up. I think they can beat the Yankees in 7 games. I think they'll beat the Red Sox if they face them. I think they'll beat the Indians if they face them. I don't believe in the Indians. The Indians had a great team last year, had the best pitching staff. I thought they finished with the best record last year. They didn't. I just haven't seen it from the Indians. The Indians need to go out there and prove it to me. But like I said, just the Yankees. I don't trust Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton to always put the ball in play in the postseason. I trust Jose Altuve. I trust Alex Bregman. I trust Carlos Correa to put the ball in play when they need to. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and Sanchez strike out a lot. Now, they do have some great combination of contact hitters, too. Gleyber Torres, he's great. Troy Tulowitzki was a decent addition. Didi Gregorius, not enough people talk about him. The Yankees, I think, are very good, but I think they're starting pitching. Now, if they can add a Madison Bumgarner at the trade deadline, I really am liking the Yankees' chance to get out the AL and potentially win a World Series. If they can do something like that, I really will like them. But we can't project that right now. I think that the Yankees have been holding on to a lot of prospects. I really do believe that. They've held on to a lot of prospects. I do think that they can make a big trade. I think they'll make a big trade. But for now, I'm going to roll with the Houston Astros. I have the right to change my mind. I'm just going to roll with them. They won 100 games last year, and they ran into something called, I don't know, the Boston Red Sox, who were historically amazing last year. They still won 100 games last year. They're going to win the World Series. They'll beat whoever they face at the NL. Now, in the NL, I might get a little bit of heat for this, but I think the Cardinals are going to make the World Series. I have the Astros beating them in 6 games. Listen, I think people are just sleeping on the Cardinals rotation. I think the addition of Andrew Miller was a great one. I think the bullpen was already decent. He adds and bolsters that bullpen a lot. Andrew Miller is a great addition for the Cardinals. People are sleeping on this rotation, I think. Carlos Martinez, and now people don't talk about him. Now he's injured right now, so that may be a keep. I think come postseason time, he'll be great. Waka, Fairley, McCullers, I think they're very good pitchers. I think they have 4 legit rotation stars. And Adam Wainwright, if he can go back to his form from a couple of years ago, I think they have something in him. Their bullpen is going to be very good. And also the addition of Paul Goldschmidt was very, very key. I like that move a whole lot. I think Paul Goldschmidt ultimately will probably win MVP this year. So I have the 2 MVP winners leading their teams to World Series appearances. But I do think the Astros are a better team than the Cardinals right now. The Cardinals offense is very good. I think I don't believe in the Dodgers fully. 7 straight years winning that division. Going to take a lot of toll on them. 2 straight World Series. Clayton Kershaw's getting old. He's not getting old, but he's been injured a lot in the playoffs. I don't believe in Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw's not been the same pitcher in the playoffs. Rich Hill's getting old. He's 38 years old. Cody Bellinger, do you expect him to make contact in the World Series? I don't. He strikes out a lot in the playoffs. I can't depend on him. So these are the reasons why I think the Cardinals will make the World Series. They have a great offense, great bullpen. I think they're the most complete team. I think they'll win that division. The division, I think, is going to take a step back. The Cubs, I think, will be pretty good in the end and things like that. But I'm just a believer in the Cardinals. I really do. I like their offense. Yadier Molina's pretty good. Marcell Ozuna, I could be totally wrong. I think the Rockies will win their division, but I don't think they have enough pitching. There's just a lot of questions in the NL. The Braves, they're a young team, but they're a couple of years away. Same with the Phillies. I think they're a good team, but they're a couple of years away. The Nationals disappoint everyone every year. Do you expect the Nationals to make the World Series? I don't. The Mets, I don't expect them to make the playoffs. I don't think they have enough offense. They have a great pitching staff and defense, but I don't think Robinson Cano, a 37-year-old first second baseman that's declining, is going to be able to carry that team. They didn't do enough in the offseason for me. So, like I said, I think the Cardinals will make the World Series. I think the Astros will make the World Series, and I have the Astros winning in 6 games with the Cardinals. I think they're the better team. They have the better offense. They have a little bit better defense, and I think ultimately their pitching is a little bit better than the Cardinals too. And that's pretty much it for this video. Be sure to like this video, share it with friends, tell people what you guys think about this video. Leave in the comment section who you think will win the World Series. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. It's been your boy Ghiman Mckinney and Juice Man, and I'm Ghost.
We'll be right back.